Okay, well, welcome back everyone. We will be now focusing a little bit more on Legends of Arkain after playing Jeopardy for the Horde. So, with that being said, let's just go ahead and continue where we left off, which we finished Dark Depths, so we're at end of Act 5, True Colors. The demons have been pushed back for the time being, and Gardon returns to the capital of Carol. In his absence, Reynold van Ders has begun to conscript farmers and villagers to fight. At the same time, elven forces are being removed from the front lines, and the Golden Guard has remained rather passive. Meanwhile, hordes of orcs are running through the realm. While some of them seem to kill anything that stands in their way, many just seem to be on the run from the demons. The ploys of the undead are still unknown to most of the living, as their newest champion Arnassian descends the depths of the Dead Mountain, and unbeknownst to all, yet another force has decided the time to act has come. Commander Derek, if you are reading this, it means that I have fallen in battle against the demon. These words are meant for your eyes and your eyes only. I have made sure that the magical seal of the letter would only break once you hold it in your hands. I will be honest with you, I didn't get lost during the retreat from Lore. I deliberately removed myself from the rest of our forces and joined one of the garrisons in Carol, for I know who will await me at the capital. My father-in-law, Reynold van Ders himself. Oh, you will think that I am foolish for putting my life in danger like that, and you would be right. I am a fool for doing this, just as I would be a fool to trust Denethus, but I couldn't meet with my father-in-law. Not like this. He is a man who tolerates neither flaws nor mistakes. Arrogant, maybe, but for good reason. I had hoped to redeem myself in his eyes, not completely, but at least a tiny bit, by holding back the demon onslaught, side by side with the royal army. As a part of me sees it as my duty to try to mend the wounds between the kingdoms and the Empire as well. Well, since you have received this missive, it means that I have failed, and I can only hope that I have met my end in honorable battle. Doing my duty, I am sending you my last will with this as well as your final payment. I have also sent a letter to my father-in-law to blah blah blah. I have been thinking a lot about this, and my final wish is that you, your mercenaries, go after the orcs who have destroyed our defenses in Lore. You were right about them. Their latest movements suggested that they were planning something big. Many think that it was my departure that doomed our defenses, but the battle was already lost. The orcs are much more dangerous than we thought. I have heard that the demons slaughtered a lot of them. Serves them right, yet they still pose a threat. Find them, Derek. Find the orcs and destroy them. Once they can no longer sabotage us, rejoin the combined defense efforts of the the Empire and the kingdoms. Let my sacrifice not be in vain. This is our final contract. I want to thank you all for your assistance you have provided to me over the years. Signed, Sir Lyric Goldheart. Bye, Lyric. We have our orders. We are moving out within the next 2 hours. Sir Lyric is dead. He fell in battle. His final wish is that we hunt down the orcs who caused the fall of Lore. Orcs? There is an invasion of demons going on as we speak. How can we focus on literally anything else than that? We are mercenaries, Logan. You are being paid to follow your orders, not to question them. The man who paid us is dead, Derek. He can neither pay nor command us. The only reason he sends us after the orcs is because they sent him running to Denethus with his tail between his legs in Lore. His letter included our final payment. In addition, he has sent a letter to High Lord Inquisitor Reynold van Ders, his father-in-law, as well, Logan. With all due respect, sir, the High Lord has not really done much to improve the situation on the continent. I doubt that he really cares for the fate of the orcs that much. From a tactical perspective, they are the ones who broke through our defenses in Lore. Intentionally or not, they are the reason why Lore fell to the demons. Yes, their armies have been routed by the demons and their homes were burned to the ground, but there is still quite a few of them out there, enough to cause trouble. We will follow our orders and fulfill our last contract. A mercenary's reputation is his most important asset. It wouldn't do it any good if we didn't do what we were paid for. I am aware that you never had much love for our employer, Logan, but I expect you to follow your orders. I know what the war against the demons means to you personally, but you cannot let that blind you. The orcs are a menace that the kingdoms have been unable to deal with and allowed to roam freely for far too long. We will end this threat once and for all, and we will rejoin the war against the demons. You have my word on that. And if none of us want to fight, we will join the fight against the demons no matter what. Dismissed. Dorbrick. Bloodclaw, you're back, I see. Yes, the demons have been pushed back. What's going on here? Why is the Golden Guard not moving out to attack the demons? You should ask Van Durst, not me. He has sent several companies of the Golden Guard to key locations in the kingdoms and the Elven Kingdom. That's all I know. You surprised me, Dorbrick. I expected you to charge right back into combat. I could have used someone like you in my last battle. I am not going to join forces with you, Bloodclaw. I never trusted you, that's no secret, but that is not why I am rejoining the fight against the demons. What orders did Van Durst give you? We are going to deal with the orcs, once and for all. The orcs? I understand they defeated you in lore, but they are not the main threat. The demons... Do you think I don't know that? Just how stupid do you think I am, Bloodclaw, huh? What's wrong with you, Dorbrick? Ever since the fall of lore, your behavior has been rather unusual. Pause. Heh, you really don't get it, do you, Bloodclaw? Of course you don't. How could you? You don't know what it is like to watch your friends getting slaughtered because you don't have any. For you, they are all just tools. Losing one is inconvenient at best. Bergen, Remarius, Celier, they're all dead. Dead! Because I failed them. Because I could not hold the line. I am Dorbrick Behringer of the Bull Regiment. They expected me to crush anything coming my way, and I couldn't. You are a great warrior, Dorbrick, but even you are just one man, the kind of man that breaks demon skulls and lifts horses to break them in two with their bare hands, but still just one man. I mentored them, Bloodclaw. I mentored Celier and Blen, and where did that bring them? Celier is dead and Blen is in prison. Remarius? He was a good lad, a bit stiff and arrogant in public, but a fine soldier and leader. He deserved better. And Fergan? Fergan, his last words were, I am sorry, Dorbrick. After years of hostility between the two of us, he apologized for pursuing his career. How could I ever felt that he betrayed the bulls? How could I ever have said these things to him, someone who used to be like a brother to me, and now he is dead? Wine. The orcs must pay. I will finish what I started. I will break their skulls. I will tear them apart. I will rip their black hearts out and feed it to their wolves. I will avenge our fallen, starting with the coward whose flying beast killed Fergan. Dorbrick, I understand that you want to avenge the fallen, but think about this. Don't just run around looking for certain death. Use your brain. What good is revenge if the demons destroy everything? We have a war to win. I have my orders, and I am willing to go through with them. You can't persuade me, Bloodclaw, and I am not the only one. The remaining regiments are being ordered to go after the orcs. All of them. All of them? Van Durst wants us to prove ourselves. He doesn't think that we have the strength to fight the demons if we can't even deal with the green-skinned pillagers. Also, he has other plans to win this war than brute force, but I'll let him tell you that himself. My men are waiting for me, Bloodclaw. Farewell. Farewell, Dorbrick. I see you have returned, Gardon. What is that animal doing here? Praxius, get that direwolf out of here. There is no forest or battlefield. It is no place here. Snarl. As you wish, High Lord. Hey, Zed. Long time no see. Woof. Good to see you too. I will bring him to the Royal Gardens. You can pick him up there later, Gardon. I'll make sure he won't be bored. Go ahead, Paladin. Come on, Zed, let's go. Word of Larig's death has already reached me prior to your arrival. It is most unfortunate that he had to die in combat. There was nothing we could have done. He was already dead when we arrived. Yes, just like the soldiers who accompanied you died on the way. We had to travel through a forest filled with orcs, demons, and even through a Murloc village Vanders, with more troops, my own troops even. We could have saved more lives. Perhaps. Your reports about this alliance between the orcs and the Murlocs were quite intriguing. We are still unsure if it was a legitimate alliance or if it was the orcs just enslaving other creatures there. It is a shame that you have not been able to put an end to this unholy alliance. I wonder what the future holds for these races. Regardless, you are complimented about your success against the demons. I would have been able to accomplish much more if you hadn't stripped me of my power. I've also noticed what you've been doing in my absence. Nothing but forcing farmers and villagers into your service. You haven't even tried to fight back at all. You said you'd assume command to win this war. How are you going to do that from here, I wonder? And how is sending the regiments off to hunt the orcs helping in that regard? How will you, the man who pushed the demons off of Rodan, defeat them here when you do nothing? Also, I'd like to know what plans you have for the elves. You move their forces to the backlines and send a large amount of Golden Guard into their forests, even though they're clearly not needed there. And finally, I noticed that some of my men are no longer in the capital. Where have you sent them? There never were your soldiers, Gardon. They are the Empire soldiers. You would do well to remember that unless you want me to believe that you, like Dorton, have forgotten that fact. Your men serve the Empire's interests, not yours. They have been stationed all over the kingdoms to do so. The Empire's interests are my interests. Very well then, Gardon. If you insist, I believe it is fair to tell you. Also, your father would have wanted you to know. Know what? What is the scheme of yours? Gardon, this is Lord Marin. He's the best engineer in the entire Empire, who can create machines even beyond the dwarves' capabilities. He is the mind behind our destructor airships. While you have been busy fighting the demons, he has completed his plans. He has created a weapon that will allow us to defeat the demons. And just what kind of weapon is that supposed to be? I could spend the whole day explaining the exact function of it, but I think it'd be difficult for you to understand its complexity, so I'll cut it short and talk in words that are easily understood. It's a stationary cannon that can fire on everything from here to the void. The cannon is a perfect symbiosis of magic and technology. Its magic makes it destroy our enemies without leaving our lands in ashes. The mechanical parts are designed to collect and concentrate its magic. It should be more than enough to keep them at bay for long enough. So, that was your plan all along? Build a cannon to defeat the demons? For a time it could work, but they'll find a way in the long term. Yes, we should build this cannon and use it to push the demons back to the void. Then we march into their lands and bring the cannon there to... Transporting the cannon will be a logistical challenge, one that could be dealt with, of course, but there is no need to do such a thing. We are not going to march into enemy territory. We're going to leave this continent, Gardon. The Emperor has decided that he wasted more than enough forces here. The war against the demons on this continent has been going on for far too long, and even after all these decades, there has been no real or lasting success. Additionally, the kingdoms have been rather unwilling to cooperate, and we are not blind to their actions. They don't want our aid, then they shall have to live without it. You coward! You were responsible for this. Why would the Emperor have sent so many forces to this continent if he didn't want to continue? He personally ordered me to come here and continue this war. He never would have abandoned this. Mind your tone, Gardon. Don't forget who you are talking to. All I'm doing, All I have always been doing has been ordered by the Emperor himself. He alone made this decision. He alone ordered me to take your forces away from you. I had nothing to do with either. Oh really? Tell me then, what are you even doing here? Why send forces after the orcs? Why deploy the oh-so-great Golden Guard if the continent was to be abandoned? We have been sent here by the Emperor to evacuate the elves. What? The Emperor and Queen Renova of the elves are to be married. She asked the Emperor to bring her people to safety, and he has agreed to do so. As for the orcs, they have humiliated the Empire and are therefore to be taken down for good. The Emperor has sent me because he trusts me, while you have lost his trust with your recent actions. To hell with his trust. He's just going to leave the kingdoms and our allies to die for some soldiers. Leave this room at once. I'll be waiting outside, General. I will continue my work, High Lord. You know where to find me. The Emperor's decision is final, Gardon. You should know better than to try to insult him or his future wife in public. Be mindful next time, lest you want to force my hand. Don't tell me you've had a problem with that. Is that what you really think, Gardon? You think I am just waiting for the right moment to strike you down? You think that I would enjoy your death? You deny it? Despite everything, you are still family, Gardon, even if you don't get the treatment you might expect. You are walking a dark path, but I know all too well what brought you onto it. I still think that you chose it because it was easier than following the right path, however. I didn't come here to get lectured by you. The Emperor, he just wants to give up just like that. I can't believe that he'd be that weak. He considers this continent as lost, Gardon, and given the circumstances, I see myself forced to agree. The kingdoms lost this fight a long time ago. It was only thanks to us that they could hold on. Now they're starting to turn their backs on us. What choice do we have? I disagree. I think there is still a possibility to win this war, especially if we use that cannon of yours. Anyway, what is about these rumors I have heard? A rebellion in Pyru? The rumors about these rebels are true. A noble of Pyru, Lord Chorus Retka, has killed the king of Pyru and his family. He rules Pyru now and leads his forces against the Empire. Already his forces have managed to conquer parts of the kingdom of Toran. Any word from General Whitefield? He was in command of all the forces in Pyru. I don't think he would just let the rebellion take over like that, or has he joined them? The rebellion started while he was here in the capital. We don't know what happened when he returned, but we assume that either he joined the rebels willingly or by force. Either way, we haven't heard from him. Very well then, I will gather whatever forces you haven't sent away to Pyru and deal with the rebels myself, since you don't seem too eager to act on your own. Your men won't suffice, the rebels are too numerous. I have already decided to put Lady Cora Redfist under your command, along with the company of the Golden Guard. Your tone leaves a lot to be desired, but I won't send you into certain death. Your father wouldn't approve. King Dorton wishes the elven exile Lorene to keep an eye on your actions. She will join you as well. Your latest victory seems to have impressed the king. Either that or your charm had quite the impact on the elf. You and the Emperor seem to have that in common. I will deal with the traitors now, and I will return Vanders. We will have words about the future of this continent. I am not going to just give up. Of course not. You just had to complicate matters, didn't you? General, this woman here approached me, claiming that she represents a group of people who want to do business with you. Indeed, it is a pleasure to meet you, General. My name is Jarda. As your sergeant here has correctly informed you, I represent a certain group of people who would like to support your cause. Is that so? Where was your group in lore? How do you want to support me? You don't look like a soldier, so I doubt that you would join me in battle. A sharp mind and tongue, I see. Very good. You are correct, of course, General. I am no soldier. I can wield neither sword nor bow to support you in battle. My group, however, can support you in other ways, with resources and gold. I see. And what would be the price of such support? Or are you going to do this out of charity? Smile. I don't believe in charity, my lord. Let's just say there was a group of people who, while not caring much for the political goals of the realms, do have interests that a certain threat from the east would interfere with. Said group would be willing to support anyone who was fighting this menace without asking for interest rates, but instead being interested in other things. Let's just say that the continent will need stability. Stability needs economy. Economy needs investment. We could provide. All we want is to be a part of the system that brings stability. I will be clear. You are from the Empire. You are familiar with things. The kingdoms rely on merchant guilds instead. We would like to change that. And their constant warring is left to their own devices as well known and remembered by investors such as yourself. Smile. Now, imagine that there was a single bank led by investors under your control, of course, to bring the entirety of Arkain prosperity as you bring security. I know you have an economic mind, beyond that dark helmet and attitude, General Bloodclaw, but even you need resources. Allow us to provide. The High Lord has left me little options. I believe we have a deal. Do not think of crossing me. I am well versed in the ways of breaking those who cross me on and off the battlefield. I assure you, General, we are well aware of what happens to those who cross you or stand in your way. We have no intention of sharing their fate. It will be a pleasure doing business with you. Adi, are you alright? Corey, is that you? What are you doing here? I'm so sorry, sister. I tried to stop them when I heard they'd imprisoned you, but they wouldn't listen. Are you alright? You look different. Yes, sister, I am alright. Apart from being locked inside the cell, that is, I have to get out. Corey, I have the power to save the Empire. I cannot do that from here. What are you talking about? Corey, I found a way to retain real power. I can turn the tide of this war. All I need is to actually use it. I already know how. Let me out of the cell and I will show you the gift and teach you how to use it too. We can save the Empire together. So the rumors are true. Then you've fallen for demonic magic. I can control it, Corey. There is absolutely nothing to worry about. You have always understood me. Please, let me out of here, my sweet sister. Pause. I didn't want to believe it, but it's true. My sister has turned into a monster. I have seen it in your eyes. I have heard it in your voice. You're not my sister, Adele, anymore. You're possessed with demonic power. Corey, I can use it and control it. I can explain it. I promise you will understand. Do you even listen to yourself, Adi? Please, resist its influence. Can't you see it's completely controlling you? We are family. Fight it. For me, for Mom, for Cora. Father? Leave. But I told you to leave, Cora. But as you wish, Father. Hello, Father. I haven't expected... I remember the day you were born. You cried the entire day and night and wouldn't let your mother sleep. You required constant attention to remain alive. A sickly baby, close to death from birth. Your condition has improved as you grew older. We were hopeful that you'd grow up into a strong woman. Our hopes were misplaced. You might have lost your sickness, but you remained weak enough to fall for the promises of demon scum. I am not weak, Father. Silence. You've always been the disgrace of my family. You've always been weak, and were supposed to marry into an influential family. Instead of obeying your father's wishes, you have run away. You have left your own family. I cannot remember allowing you to speak, girl, as if your weakness wasn't shameful enough. But you've also had to fall to demonic influence. You're a pest. It sickens me to think about. My blood running through your veins. You think you have power now? You're wrong. You've always been weak. No matter what powers you gain access to, you will stay weak. I can see it now. You are worthless. Daddy? Don't, Adale, don't. If I were you, I'd rather commit suicide than continue such a life. You're not part of my family anymore. I spit on you and your whole existence. Should you ever find some idiot who is blind and stupid enough to mate with you, I'll spit on him too. Should you ever have children, I'll be there and spit on them as well. Their children and their children's children, I spit on all of them. Jeez. How could I have been so wrong about you? One day, Father, I will make you pay for all that you have done. Your life will end the most painful way possible. Yes, it will, my dear. We'll make sure of that. Once we get out of here, he will gladly help you with that. Just say the word, Master. We will be ready. He bought it, then? The offer? Yes. In the intention? Not so much, I don't think. A charming fellow, that Bloodclaw, isn't he? Already a threat before the cooperation has even begun, but oh well. Hatred and anger tends to make one irrational and lose some manners from time to time, doesn't it? Well, he has signed the contract. He gets our resources. In exchange, we will rise with him. A mutually beneficial alliance. Indeed, but I'd be surprised if a contract meant anything more to him than the paper it was written on. Stay true to your word. Don't do anything that would make him think you may consider backstabbing him. We have nothing to gain from betraying him to begin with. Current events are bad for business, not to mention that I had to move out of my beloved home because some maniacs decided to burn everything to the ground. Not a very profitable thing to do, I might add. While they may have been able to obtain some stolen artifacts, I highly doubt that their worth was high enough to make up for the cost of such an operation. Truly, the Red Fist needs some advice on financial matters. They are irrational. I doubt they listen. Of course, this was highly hypothetical. You will accompany General Bloodclaw and support him with whatever resources he asks for. I doubt that he'll be willing to ask for too much. He isn't too kind of a person to enjoy owing anything to others. Do not force anything on him, however. The less time he thinks about the group you work for, the better. He has no reason to mistrust us. I haven't lied to him. I want him to protect the kingdoms, not focus on us instead. Unlike others, I have no ulterior motives. War may be good for business, but the total destruction of mortal realms isn't. Tensions in the capital are high. I will rejoin the Gold Axe clan soon, just to make sure they are safe. They need their chieftain in these trying times after all. Bum bum.